and we are back. Welcome to the 2KU Weekly Podcast. The year is 2025, and this field of over 200 teams is ready to get going again. I'm Type of Joy 101, joined by Danny V, and our very special guest, and the namesake of the team you're seeing on screen right now, Mr. Dave Show. Dave, how are you doing, my man?
Great. What's up, everybody? What's up, 2K Universe?
Welcome. Danny, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Getting ready to kick off for the season.
All right. We're going to be basically giving a quick overview of where we left off last season, as well as where we're heading for 2025. Real quick, let's get started with our major headlines going into this season. Where we last picked up in Miami. Michigan beat Utah for the 2024 national championship. The last one to go on the standard BCS's rotation. The next championship, I believe we have it in Indianapolis, if I'm correct.
Yes.
All right. Michigan expected to resume their status as preseason number 1 by the end of the year. We had some lineup changes this season, the biggest of which come through the Big 12 and Pac-12. The Big 12 picking up SMU and TCU, the Pac-12 adding 4 more teams in response: Boise, Colorado State, Fresno State, and Utah State, to get to a full 16. Staying in the Pac-12, Oregon quarterback DeMarcus Longwood is the current favorite to win the Heisman Trophy, picking up after Andrew Burnett. It'd be crazy to see a quarterback from the same school win Heismans in back-to-back years. Meanwhile, some new teams joining the 2KU this season. The FBS adds UC Davis, Sacramento State, Wayne State, and East Texas A&M to their ranks. However, all is not well in the world of the mid-major, as currently there's a motion going by the Southland Conference on whether or not they'll be staying in the FBS. We'll talk more about that later. The Missouri Valley and SoCon might be next. The SEC is finally out of the shadow of that scandal Alabama was involved with back in 2022. They are trying to start anew, and they're expected to have a very good year next season, as opposed to some certain struggles they've been having lately. And wrapping up our headlines, Notre Dame returning to independence after a 13-year stint as Big Ten members. What will that have to hold for the program moving forward? But we're going to look through conference by conference about what's going on here, our previews for each conference. Anything you want to let the audience know, Danny, before we get started?
Nope. It's been a long time waiting. Made a lot of effort in these schedules, and hopefully everyone enjoys them. A lot of fun matchups.
Mm-hmm. Danny has been the one behind all these schedules. Got to give a shout out to him. And let's get started. I'm going to start with the ACC here. Last season was a shifting year for the conference. They added Georgia Tech as well as Boston College and Dave Show to get to an even 14. Georgia Tech was able to ride out a tumultuous year for the ACC, ending up winning against an underdog Wake Forest, who made it that far thanks to some great defensive play behind the back of Defensive Player of the Year Lucky Easton. Easton is gone. How will that affect Wake Forest? Well, the current projections are not well. The ACC, it's kind of been every year recently, it's been between Florida State and Clemson in the preseason, but by the halfway point of the year, they're always taking each other out. I feel like this year might not be very different. Clemson and Florida State expected to be the best teams in their respective divisions. Or in their respective division, the ACC Atlantic. I think a team to watch out for could be South Carolina as well. Meanwhile, the Coastal is expected to be a mosh pit. Georgia Tech, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, maybe Duke and Miami potentially in contention as well. And don't forget the Dave Show Trekkers, who are in the Coastal as well. It's going to be a very interesting season. I think, personally, it's between that Clemson and Florida State squad in the Atlantic. Whoever wins that division will likely win the conference. Give me Clemson versus Georgia Tech in the ACC Championship. Danny, who do you have?
Give me Clemson, and I'm going to go crazy here. Give me North Carolina.
UNC. Dave, let's Your first picks on the channel. Make them count. Who do you have in the ACC?
I'm rooting for the Dave Show Truckers with
All
some
right.
names that I remember: Bruce Dunham and Danny V, of course, and
Mm-hmm.
Justin Holloway.
Yeah. Who do you have winning the Atlantic
Florida State.
or State?
Go
A
Noles.
battle of the spears for the ACC.
Yes, sir.
That'd be very entertaining. The American. American, very different to the one in real life. I don't know how caught up you are on 2K stuff, but there's been a
Danny
change.
sent me the graphics of the conference realignment.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Danny, the one who's keeping this show running. The conference adds UMass out of the Big East. UMass's tenure has been strange, to say the least. They've had 2 out of nowhere great seasons sandwiched in between a lot of poor performances in the Big East. I think that conference just overall was not the best fit for the Minutemen. They're expected to have a lot more luck in the American. They're one of the favorites there. But the favorite is going to be Delaware. Now, Delaware, unlike IRL, in 2KU, Delaware has been in the FBS for a little while. They shared the Big East with UMass for a bit before they left to form this conference. And right now, it's between the Blue Hens and the Minutemen in the conference, though maybe keep an eye out for a potential dark horse like Eastern Kentucky. Give me Delaware over UMass. Danny?
I think give me UMass over Delaware.
All right. Dave?
Who's the team with the Chicago Cubs logo? Who is that?
Colgate.
Colgate?
Yeah. Like the toothpaste
Give me the
people.
Give me the toothpaste.
Toothpaste
Wait,
people.
What about UGF?
UGF is
graphic right here.
UGF is there. They played their first season of FBS football last season as an independent. They just joined the American. You could pick them.
Yeah, they got Not the Expert, who is
Shout's not the
an
expert.
he is an expert. The guy is incredible at the game, so I'll go with UGF.
UGF finds a way over the toothpaste people. We'll see. To the Big East. The Big East this season adds 2 new members in East Carolina and Memphis, who are 2 of the best members remaining in the CUSA after the Big East took the 4 best members before them in Louisville, Cincinnati, UCF, and USF. And because of that, we are going to have a very entertaining Big East South. However, there's some questions to ask about the North. We'll start there. The current favorite for me is going to be Rutgers. However, there is a looming threat, and that's the fact that in spite of never being our picks, Temple has won 2 of the last 3 Big East titles, including both times beating teams who had only 1 loss or fewer. Temple has a knack for just finding themselves in places where they're not supposed to be. They won their first ever BCS Bowl last season with the Peach Bowl win over Indiana. I think Temple makes it close, but give me Rutgers in the North. As for the South, I think it's going to come down to that new crowd of teams from the Conference USA. Cincinnati won it last season. They lost conference title. I think they are able to run it back. It's going to be a tight one. I think Cincinnati, I'm going to give them the edge, but watch out for Memphis. They could be a dangerous squad. Danny?
I have something to say real quick before Danny goes about
Oh,
the
yeah?
South.
Uh-huh.
Anybody but Central Florida. Central Florida has no shot. New coach Scott Frost forgot how to coach. So we'll just forget all about Central Florida. They're out.
So let's talk to the Central Florida grad. Danny, what do you think about the Big East? Also, congrats on graduating. I should say that.
Well, yeah. Finally graduated, but spent all my years doing 2KU to get a goddamn diploma for that.
I'll make one I'll make one through the month and I'll send it to you.
Perfect. All right. You know what? Just because of that, give me UCF to win the South, and I want the Villanova Popes to go on the way.
The Pope was a Nova fan, or was, he's still around. Pope is a Nova fan. Maybe they line it up. Villanova has won the Big East before. That was all the way back in 2009. Dave, who do you got winning the Big East?
You were talking about Temple earlier. I had a fellow high school student classmate that played running back at Temple, so I'll go with the Owls.
Mm-hmm. Picking the Owls. Who you have in the South?
Well, not Central Florida, like I said. They suck. So we'll go with South Florida. Bulls.
Interesting. I think the Bulls could be a dark horse. They have a potential to make a run. To the Big Ten, who is one team fewer this season as they were to last. Notre Dame left. We'll talk about their tenure soon. But they added Chicago to the ranks last season, and they surprised everyone by not being terrible. They did okay for themselves, and they're projected to do about the same this season. But really, the big story was how competitive the Big Ten was last season. Of course, you had Michigan winning the Natty, but it was not by too much, because you had Penn State very close to them. You had Ohio State on their tail, Iowa as well, and of course Indiana, who they played in the conference title game. It was one of the most competitive conferences we've seen in quite some time, and I think that extends to this season. Now, obviously, Michigan is the team to beat here, but I'm gonna be very anti-me. I think Ohio State has the best roster here, much to my chagrin. I think OSU beats Michigan in Columbus, and then they rematch against each other in Indianapolis the next week. That's never happened before in 2KU. Give me that happening. Danny?
Give me Ohio State to play against Penn State in Indianapolis.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm looking at the graphic for the Big Ten here, and at the top you got the Cincinnati Reds, so I don't think they have a shot because they play baseball.
Hey, they got Ellie De La Cruz. That's Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Maroons.
Okay, maybe like the Chicago Bears changed their colors.
You
Chicago. Definitely not them.
Probably
do
not.
They even play football right now?
Yes, but in IRL they're D3.
Go Blue.
Go Blue. You're picking Michigan. Who do you got? Who are they playing in the title game?
Let's see. You don't have divisions, right?
Yeah, it's just top two.
That's crazy. Like if Michigan and Ohio State play the last game of the regular season and say they're both undefeated.
Ooh, and then they play each other.
Or
We almost
is already clinched in. Will they just rest their starters?
Maybe.
So
Who knows?
That game becomes so irrelevant, and that's one thing.
But then they do it again. It becomes a.
Concern about the non-division stuff is that game becomes less significant. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's such a rare occurrence that it doesn't really matter that much. We almost had a very interesting thing with the Big Ten last year. There's a hypothetical universe where Michigan and Penn State would end up as 1 and 2 and play in the Big Ten title game. That didn't end up happening. Penn State lost 2 more games before they got there. But and I think they lost out on tiebreakers to Indiana to make the title game. But there is a world where we have a game of the century in the conference title game, and that I feel like would be insane. I don't think it's happening this year though. Moving on to the Big 12. If you thought 12 with no divisions was crazy, get a load of this. The Big 12 last season added BYU and Houston. Both are kind of different degrees of addition. BYU played very well. They're a competitor in the Big 12 North that season. Houston was very good in basketball. I'll say that much. However, their football performance left something to be desired. The Big 12, though, decided to go out and nab 2 more teams in TCU and SMU. The Pac-12 had a weird experiment where they tried going into Texas. It did not work. TCU and SMU bailed nearly immediately. And I feel like they're going to end up a lot better fit for the Big 12 anyway. The Big 12 is going to be... Big 12 is interesting because the top teams of last season are not expected to be here this year. Oklahoma State has been in the conference championship 3 straight years. They've lost every single time. They're expected to contend again, but not to the extent that they used to. I think right now, the best team to watch out for is going to be out of the state of Texas. I think after some great seasons last year, Texas and Texas A&M are the teams to watch. Look out for maybe a Lone Star Showdown matchup again. I think the winner of that goes to Arlington, and I think they'll face off against a former Big 12 North school. I like Nebraska. They have a very good stretch in the middle of the year of winnable games. They played Texas on the road earlier, so So I expect the Longhorns and Cornhuskers to have a rematch in Arlington. Danny?
Give me Nebraska against the Aggies. Give me Texas A&M against Nebraska.
Thank you, Danny. Dave?
Yeah, I'm looking at your Big 12, the 16 teams that you have in it, and
The bigger 12.
I have a 16-team Big 12 that I'm planning on doing in my dynasty, where the North is going to be called the Big 8 division, and it has all the original Big 8 teams.
And the South is the Southwest?
A Southwest division. So it's Arkansas in the conference instead of BYU. So we'll have those two groups of 8. And the new game has this feature with locked opponents. So
yeah, I saw about that.
And Oklahoma make sure that they play each other every year.
I like that. That was the original idea for the Big 12. Arkansas was not on the board. It was going to be Rice, but that was originally what we were going to do. However, it would have been weird and lopsided because Texas would have been... well, that's how the divisions were going to go, but it would have meant like Texas Tech would have been in the North instead of the South. Yeah, so we ended up scrapping divisions.
I had Rice in there initially because I wanted Arkansas in the 12-team SEC. But Rice is a one-star school. I was simulating, and they would go winless every single year in the conference. I'm like, this isn't gonna work. It's got to be Arkansas. They were in that conference. They were in that conference for 80 years, so
yeah,
put them in there. But you were asking me for my prediction
for the Big 12,
and I'm gonna go Steve Sarkisian, Arch Manning, Texas Longhorns. This conference looks a lot more winnable than the one they're currently in.
Yeah.
So hook 'em horns.
Who do you have them playing against?
Although again, them and A&M play at the end of the season, and it kind of makes it go, all right, are they gonna have to play twice, back-to-back conference title game and that game? So that's the one thing about the division stuff that makes it a little non-division stuff that makes it a little hairy for me.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, you know. To the Conference USA, who has been losing, who lost a lot of members. However, they've gotten themselves into a more stable position now. Here's hoping they don't get poached after this. But new divisions, I believe they've added Charlotte from the American, James Madison and Old Dominion from the SoCon, as well as Kennesaw from the American. Liberty was already there. They added Stephen F. Austin last year, right? Or this year. No, this year they add Sam Houston, Stephen F., as well as Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky from the Sun Belt. There we go. We're caught up. I think the conference runs through the teams that were not already picked up from the previous Conference USA, and those are going to be... whoops. Sorry, connection went bad there. I think the teams to watch are going to be UAB and Southern Miss. Those are the big wild cards. The watch out for Texas State. I think I have UAB, Texas State, and if one of those teams can get a run and get some momentum, they might be talking BCS by the end of the year. Danny?
Give me Liberty and UTSA.
Some legendary small school mid-major representation. Dave?
Yeah, I'm looking at this conference, and from my understanding in the messages from Danny, this is considered an automatic qualifier conference.
I don't think it is. No.
No.
It was. It isn't anymore.
No. That's all I have to say about that.
Who do you got winning the divisions?
Let's see, my new job sent me to San Antonio for training, so I'll go with the Roadrunners. And on the other side, I'll go with, is that Saskatchewan, the KS?
Kennesaw State.
No, my best friend took some classes through Liberty University, and weren't they getting their ass kicked in some BCS Bowl recently?
They're in the Fiesta Bowl.
We'll go with the Liberty
Flames.
Flames.
Yeah. Real quick tangent about the Independents. We don't have to pick winners here, but Army Navy joined by new blood. Sacramento State and UC Davis will be playing a year as independents before moving to the WAC. And Notre Dame returning to independent status for the first time since the 2010 season. They are not satisfied by their Big Ten schedule or by their place in the Big Ten. They are only able ever to win it, I believe, once under the tenure. However, now with more flexible scheduling and no Michigan or Ohio State breathing down their backs, I think Notre Dame will do a lot better now. Though they do play Michigan in that Week 11 matchup. Stay tuned for that. Any notes, Danny?
Talk about a schedule for Notre Dame. Boston College, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue, Virginia Tech, USC, the military schools, Michigan, Pitt, Miami, and Stanford. What a fun schedule.
Yeah. Anything to note, Dave?
Michigan late in the year.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Oh.
at Sac State and UC Davis are playing the University of Pacific
UOP.
and Long Beach State.
They'll be future conference members come 2026.
UC Santa Barbara has football.
FCS, yeah.
At a Buffalo Sabres ripoff, isn't that Utah Tech?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I drive by that campus all the time now. So I got.
You don't have to pick winners here because there's no division or there's no championship. But
that's a nice schedule for Notre Dame.
How about it? Ivy League, 8 teams. Columbia in their first season without their old head coach, he went to Miami, and it's funny because that's the first game that Columbia plays is against the Miami Hurricanes. Columbia became the first Ivy League team to finish in the top 25 since Harvard in 2002 after a 12-1 campaign where they didn't even win their conference. They lost the one game that their only loss was to Harvard, which ended up being the tiebreaker, and Harvard would end up winning the conference. Columbia has been like one of those, if things line up right, they'll make a BCS bowl for teams for a while now, but it's never really come up. I like Columbia winning. There's no conference championship, so it's just straight up winner. Danny?
Give me Columbia to win it.
Dave?
I'm picking the Ivy League.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Can I name a single player that went to an Ivy League school off the top of my head? Yes. Kyle Juszczyk.
Kyle Juszczyk. Ryan Fitzpatrick was at Harvard.
That's right. So Kyle Juszczyk went to Yale.
Was it Yale?
So,
Quick research tangent. How do you spell that? I forget.
Y-A-L-E.
I know how to spell Kyle. Yeah. It's the Juszczyk that's the problem.
J-U-S. See, do I even know the Ivy League? Harvard Crimson, Yale Bulldogs.
Kyle Juszczyk went
they are.
to...
basically New England schools.
Brown,
Yeah.
Penn,
Harvard. He went to Harvard.
what? Cornell, Dartmouth.
Dartmouth. Yeah.
Went to Harvard.
Harvard, yeah.
Oh, my bad. Swing and a miss there.
Wrong side of the...
Harvard.
They did win last
Or
year, so...
Princeton.
The MAC. MAC added Duquesne and Johns Hopkins last season. They did fine, let's say. They're running it back this season with a similar thing. There was a little scare about NIU leaving, but they're sticking around for now. Right now, not a lot to talk about here. What's up?
Thank you, Danny, for sending me the Mac graphic.
Yeah, thanks, Danny. Just thanks, Danny, in general. I think we can do the MAC pretty quickly. I have Akron winning the East, and I have Western Michigan in the West. I have the Broncos winning the conference this season. Danny?
Give me Miami against Eastern Michigan.
Dave?
I watch a lot of Jason Whitlock's podcast, the Ball State grad. He's a proud alum, so let's go Cardinals.
Ball So Hard University. Missouri. Ball So Hard University.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Missouri Valley. They're one of those conferences that are in consideration for potentially moving down.
One more thing about the MAC.
Oh, what's
I
up?
want to give it a shout out. I want to give it a shout out to Cedric Granger, another one of my big fans on my channel.
Shout outs.
Ohio Bobcats, go Bobcats.
All right. Ball
Shout
State,
out.
Ohio. To the Missouri Valley. One of those conferences that's rumored to move down. They add Wayne State from the FCS as well as Youngstown State out of the they spent a year in the Conference USA after a tenure in the MAC. And I think this might be the fit that Youngstown State was looking for as a FBS member. The MAC never really worked out for them. They didn't really play that well there. The Conference USA was always kind of a stopgap thing. I actually like Youngstown State to be the big competitor. Of course, the big teams you got to look out for. Southern Illinois has won the conference in back-to-back years out of the East. And then, of course, you have the Dakotas, North Dakota State and South Dakota State, running ship in the West Division, I believe.
Yep.
I think I have Southern Illinois winning the division, and I have them playing against North Dakota State. Danny?
Give me Southern Illinois against South Dakota State.
Dave?
I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan, and I'll go with Youngstown State, the home of the DeBartolos.
All right. And which Dakota State are you picking?
Oh, down in the other one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's see. North Dakota State wins all the time, right? Or no, the Jackrabbits took over.
They've been playing. They've kind of been going back and forth recently.
Let's go Jackrabbits.
All right. To the Mountain West was an AQ for a bit. However, their biggest team in Boise State has jumped ship to the Pac-12 alongside Utah State, Colorado State, and Fresno State. They're collecting the states out in the Pac-12. In their place, the conference adds some of the best teams in the WAC. Hawaii, Idaho, they already had Nevada, New Mexico State, and San Jose State join as well as UTEP from the Conference USA. Mexico State's been playing extremely well in the WAC. They've been having their best seasons the past few years. This year, though, I think it'll be a cool down year for the Aggies. San Jose State was a win away from maybe playing for a national championship if things lined up right. They went 12-0 in the regular season. They lost the conference championship to Boise State. The Spartans are expected to be at the top of their conference this season. I like San Jose State against UNLV for the conference championship. Danny?
Give me UNLV against Air Force.
Dave?
I'm looking at your graphic, and is that Death Valley State?
That's Cullen Payton. That's a custom one I made. They're at Caldwell, Idaho.
Oh, I remember them. Weren't they the Coyotes?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're not any good?
They fluctuate. They're not good right now.
Is Cullen Payton on the sidelines with his one elbow pad on?
Mayhaps.
Mountain West, I'm going to go with the Runnin' Rebels.
UNLV,
Town flavor.
who they got them playing against?
I finally went to a game last year. I saw them play against Boise State. That was a lot of fun. Who are they going up against?
Who you have them playing against?
Who do you have them playing against?
Who do you have them playing against?
I was asking, who do you have them?
I have UNLV playing San Jose State.
I'll go with the Spartans.
All right.
I've also been to several Spartan games in my day.
To the Pac-12. The Pac-12 I think they had 16 teams last season. They had 14. They drop TCU and SMU. That experiment didn't work. Instead, they go to some of the best teams in the Pac-12. Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and Utah State to get to a full 16 teams. Last season, Utah, in their first year, coming out of the Mountain West, they dominated the conference. They had a shocking dominant win over Oregon, which put them in the conference championship against Arizona, who they beat. And Utah expected to be up there as one of the best teams this season. Every few years, though, USC gets in the conversation. I think that's one of those years. I like the Trojans to play on top of their game. And of course, you can't argue against the Ducks, who have been one of the most dominant teams year in and year out through the 2KU. I like Oregon and USC playing for the conference championship. Danny?
Yeah, give me Oregon to play against Utah.
Dave?
I like Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State, and when they wear the Sun Devil on the logo, I see they have a tough opener against Dave's show in week 0.
I believe in Vegas, right, Danny?
That's in Orlando.
Okay. No, it was in Vegas last year.
Ray is away. Okay, so it's in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Forkum.
Picking
Devils.
Arizona State against, who do you got?
I'm going to go with, Oregon's pretty much taken over as the standard of the league, right? So we'll go
Ducks have been
with the
consistent.
And I like the Ducks now when they wear the Kelly green and yellow throwback jerseys, so I want that uniform combination.
Yeah. There are a few teams I want to shout out, though. Watch out for Washington. They could be dangerous entering next season. I think I skipped some. Oh, no, it's out of order because I have it by abbreviation. To the SEC. The SEC, they have been through a tumultuous last few years. Of course, the whole Alabama scandal put a lot of dirt on their name. Georgia Tech ended up leaving the conference for the ACC because of it. And it's kind of been a bumpy road. Arkansas, the team they seemed to add to replace them essentially, did okay last year. They're expected to do a lot better this year. However, the SEC wanted to go big. Apparently, they were looking at Texas and Oklahoma, who at that point laughed in their faces. Big 12 in 2KU is a lot more desirable place to be than the Big 12 IRL right now, especially in the face of the SEC, who has had not the best season, especially you can tell when Tulane was comfortably the best team in the conference with their championship win over Auburn. So their first option didn't work. So they ended up picking up some teams that were available in the same the same states, Rice and Tulsa. Now, Rice a few years ago would have been seen as a bad choice. However, there's a little more optimism, especially with their season last year. They finished the year 13-1. Their only loss was the conference championship game to Southern Miss. Things seem to line up for Rice, and people are wondering if, since this division is a bit iffy, you have the Mississippi teams who have not been doing great lately, as well as Tulsa and maybe a Tulane on the downturn. People are wondering if Rice can get something going. We'll have to see if that develops in time. Tulsa is a bit of a strange pick, but I feel like it might end up as another speculative thing. But anyway, the big talk in the SEC West would be between LSU and Arkansas. I like the Tigers. They might be dark horse natty contenders should things line up. Meanwhile, in the East, because of this move, Alabama and Auburn moved to the SEC East. They now share a division with Florida and Georgia, who have been some of the best teams in the division as of late. Bama is a dangerous team because they were on probation and they still played like they had everything to lose. So imagine how dangerous this team's going to end up now that they have something to play for. Give me Alabama and LSU for the conference title game. Danny?
Give me Georgia against LSU for the title game. Georgia's holding the tide. I think Georgia will do it.
Dave?
What in the world is this SEC? Rice and Tulsa?
It means something.
What the hell?
It just means less.
Well, LSU and Ole Miss haven't made in that division, and the East is just...
This is why you don't do cheating scandals, kids.
This is...
The SEC's been in a bit of a bad state recently. Maybe this is where they turn around. They didn't win
the
it.
1980s?
maybe. They did win a title in 2023, Florida, in that game against Penn State.
Like I said, I had Rice in my Southwest division, and it was a disaster. So get them out of there. Tulsa, get them. And Tulane, I know they were in there before, but
they won the conference last year. So
I was watching a gameplay recently, and Tulane Stadium is so small. So LSU cruises through that division. It's between them and Ole Miss. And then the gauntlet up ahead. Georgia, Alabama is going to be in Sanford Stadium, which they are rarely tested there, and they finally to play somebody, so we'll go with the Bulldogs.
Georgia does have a very difficult schedule. We'll see how they get through. They have Oklahoma and Florida State to open the year, as well as that Alabama game. We'll see how they can handle it.
Florida State's garbage, so they should be able to take care of them.
To the Southland. The Southland are probably the biggest deal in terms of the conference's potential, or the teams in the conferences potentially moving down. They just lost another crop of big members recently to the WAC. And right now, the big rumor is on McNeese and Nichols. If they end up leaving the conference, it might be game over for Southland football at the FBS level. In order to try and stop the bleeding, they did add East Texas A&M. That's about as much nice as I have to say about their what will likely be their 2025. But it is right now between those two teams that hold the conference in the balance. McNeese and Nichols. Remember last year, the teams who played in the Southland Championship were Hardin Simmons and West Texas. They both left to the WAC. So now you really got to start thinking about the worst case scenario if you're the Southland. But nonetheless, you may as well have some fun while you're here. I like the Cowboys and the Colonels. Danny?
I mean, McNeese to play against Northwestern State. I kind of like them.
Dave?
It's funny you bring up the Southland Conference because I think about it all the time. Because something keeps me up at night is who is going to win the Southland Conference this year.
It's an important question. We gotta know.
Yeah,
exactly.
As I see ACU, who is just Alabama Christian University.
Abilene Christian.
Abilene Christian. I knew that one. And then the green with a gold lion on it is the
Southeastern Louisiana.
SELA.
Southeast. Yeah. And who's ripping off UConn there? Is that
Houston, formerly Houston Baptist, now Houston Christian.
Houston Christian.
Yeah.
At Illinois State?
Cardinal? That's Incarnate Word. There's two Cardinals, Incarnate Word and Lamar. They're right next to each other.
That's Lamar, the LU?
Yeah.
I mean,
they have another logo.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So then that's McNeese with the Michigan M with the Wyoming thing, and then
Nichols is the sword.
Colonels,
Yeah.
NSU.
Northwestern State. The Demons.
Northwestern State Demons. And the MGM Grand logo. Who's that? We got two of those.
The Lion is that's Southeastern Louisiana, and the last one is UT Arlington.
Okay. And then Boise State down there is.
That's UTA, UT Arlington.
Wait, who are the Lions again?
Southeastern Louisiana.
All right.
It's educational, this show.
Who did Danny say is gonna win this thing?
I said McNeese and Northwestern State.
I had McNeese and Nichols.
Alright, so he went to Central Florida, so I'm not taking them.
Ha!
I'm gonna take give me the Colonels.
Nichols. All right.
Nichols is my favorite college professor. I didn't make it very far, but that guy was awesome.
Shout outs to him.
No, Nichols.
The SoCon. Their two best teams were James Madison and Old Dominion. They're gone. They might be in a more dire state than the Southland is right now. Their additions recently in Wofford and Davidson did not pan out to the way they're expecting, and are not expected to do great this season. Right now, the big bright spot for the conference is Chattanooga, who played very well last season, played in the conference title game. They lost to James Madison, who left the conference. I think Chattanooga is the favorite here. I like them playing Richmond. I think they play the Spiders for the title. Danny?
Hey, give me Richmond against the Citadel.
Dave?
I go with the Spiders, right? I mean,
Yep.
what do we got? Chattanooga. Who's the C with the star in it?
That's the Citadel.
Citadel. Military school.
And what is that? A cat underneath it?
Davidson. The house that Curry
that's
built.
Steph Curry, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You got Furman. Right?
Furman.
And then
Richmond.
CMI.
Yeah.
Who has the Mariners trident upside down?
That's Washington and Lee, former member.
Washington and Lee?
They were one of those old school
Is that
members.
real?
Yeah. Lexington,
That's
Virginia.
a W and an L.
Yeah.
And then that power cat thing. What is that?
Western Carolina.
Western Carolina.
Okay.
If only
William
Pig Bear was
Mary.
here. William Mary.
Wofford.
And Wofford. There you go.
All right. Yeah. Isn't this Pig Bear's favorite conference? The SoCon?
It's in his home turf.
Yeah. So I'll go. Well, I gotta go with the Spiders because they have by far the best logo.
All right. We have two more conferences to go. We have the Sun Belt. Sun Belt lost Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky. They go down to 12 members. Hopefully it's a bit more streamlined. The divisions, I think now. No, the Georgia State was a weird outlier for a little bit because they were playing in the West, whereas the other teams were in the East. Now they moved to the East. But I think it's going to be a very interesting run in the East. It's currently between App State and Coastal Carolina division. I personally like the Mountaineers to win the division, and I think they play against a South Alabama team who showed flashes of a team who could win the conference last year. Give me App State, South Alabama. Danny?
Give me Florida Atlantic against Jacksonville State.
All right, Dave?
Jacksonville State went into Tallahassee and beat the Seminoles on the last play of the game.
Yep.
That was one of the most awesome things I've ever seen. So go Cox.
Yeah. Jacksonville State in their second year of Summer membership. They joined last season. We have one more conference to go. That would be the WAC. The WAC's most powerful teams, namely teams like Hawaii, New Mexico State, they just left for the Mountain West. They end up filling their ranks with teams from the Southland, namely. Central Arkansas joins the conference, as does Hardin-Simmons in West Texas, who were each in the conference championship last year for the conference. I think right now the team to watch in the conference is Louisiana Tech. A run goes through. If they even get like one win against those three power teams that they start the year with, I think alarm should be going off that like this team might be a sleeper pick for an FCS spot. Meanwhile, you also got to look at teams like North Texas. They play very well. Oh, and they're like one of the last members of that old core. Just like the Conference USA, now that the new core cycled in, the remainers of the old core are probably going to play their best football. The conference will be adding those two independents we talked about, UC Davis and Sacramento State, next season. But for the teams that are here, I like Louisiana Tech to play against North Texas. Danny?
Give me Louisiana Tech against Pacific, the Tigers.
All right. Dave?
We're the Fighting Tiger, or no, we're the Hungry Tigers, or the Fighting Tigers. I can't remember the words. We're the Fighting Tigers team.
UOP.
Pacific Tiger games all the time when I was a kid. Long Beach State's where my sister went. Go Beach.
Go Beach.
Utah Tech. I see their campus every single week, just about. Who's WT?
That's West Texas.
West Texas. Never heard of that. Who's the V?
UTRGV.
Huh?
Texas Rio Grande Valley, UTRGV. They just started football last year.
How about this other Texas team with the purple T?
Tarleton.
Who's the cowboy with the purple and yellow?
That's Hardin Simmons.
Hardin Simmons?
They're out of Abilene. They're one of the better teams in
You make that
D3.
up?
No, they're real. They were a
purple
border conference member back in the day. That's Central Arkansas.
Oh, that's Mike Norvell's alma mater.
Yeah. Also, got a shout out to one of the inspiration for this channel, Fat 8 Conference, and their electric football videos. Central Arkansas very prominent in those.
Who's Pacific's second game? The Seagull with the rainbow.
That's USIU. They're an FCS school.
Did you do like a documentary about them before?
Yeah.
Yes.
We got a bit more information about them. We actually found a picture of the logo. That was fun. But yeah, who do you have Pacific?
For my pick.
Who do you have Pacific playing against?
Long Beach State.
All right. A Big West matchup.
49ers. The 49ers. Screw the Sharks.
I don't even think they use the Sharks name. I think it's just Beach. All right. From there, we're going to move now to our top 25. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Danny sent it to me. The preseason top 25 will be what we start things out with. Sorry, it's all the way down here. I don't think any of the team... No, we do have one team on here that is active. We'll talk about that in the games. But we start off with our number one, of course, the Michigan Wolverines, who won the national championship last season. Makes sense. They had a pretty good recruiting class last season. It's going to be interesting to see how the turnaround works this season. You don't want to leave yourself in a hangover, which can happen. Look at Florida last year. Oregon is your number 2 on the list. The Ducks, probably the most consistent team in the 2KU, though they haven't won a national championship since we started doing these streams. Maybe this is the year they put it together. Number 3 is Ohio State, already starting off right down the neck of Michigan. I think those two are going to go back and forth all year as who's going to win the Big Ten and the nation. And we have another Pac-12 team up there as well in Utah, who play in the Natty against the Wolverines. At number 5, we have Clemson. Clemson Tigers are currently the favorites to win the ACC. Georgia Tech, also out of the ACC, is sitting at 6th. Oklahoma State played for the conference championship last season. They sit at number 7 overall. At number 8, the Big East favorites in Cincinnati. At number 9, reigning Big 12 champions, Kansas State, who stole away from Oklahoma State last season. And we wrap out the top 10 with Alabama, who are probably the most boomer bust team in this top 10. What are your thoughts, Danny?
Great selection of rosters. Love the graphic. It's a lot of fun teams at the top.
I don't think it's on stream, but we will send it at the end of the show through the Discord server if you guys are in that. But Dave, any thoughts on the top 10? Actually, do we send Dave the top 10? We probably should.
Got it right here.
Cool.
2KU top 25. Michigan number 1. That'd make my dad very happy.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sharon Moore has kept things rolling in this universe.
Pretty much, yeah.
Number 2, Oregon, though. That's where my dad lives near Eugene, and he hates the Ducks.
Really?
So can't stand them.
The duality.
That'd be a fun national title for him there.
It absolutely would be.
Buckeyes got whooped at home last year, despite being a 21-point favorite over Michigan. That was fun. So, go blue all the way. Hail to the victors.
All right, let's keep going. Top 10. Outside of the top 10, number 11, reigning SEC champs in Tulane. They played in the Sugar Bowl. They lost it to a Surgeon Hawaii, which we'll talk about at the end of the top 25. Number 12, Notre Dame. Another speculative pick, but now that they're off their independent status, they will have a lot more to rise, as is expected. Number 13, Texas. Played for that really competitive Big 12 last year, and are one of the favorites this season. Penn State, of course, always dangerous in the Big 10. Number 15, Texas A&M. Texas A&M immediately shot on everyone's radar when they upset a number 1 Oklahoma State last season. and they played, and they always played within the division since. Is this the year that they finally put it back together and win the conference? Number 16, UCF. It's been 2 years since their perfect season. Both times spent in the Big East. Is this the year they win the Big East for the first time in school history? At number 17, USC. A bit of a quiet year last year for the Trojans, but they're always a national headline grabber. Number 18, LSU. Maybe the most dangerous team on here, the way their division is lined up. Sitting at number 19, Boise State. Out of the Mountain West, they were the reigning conference champions. Now joining the Pac-12. How will they handle their transition to the new conference? And we wrap the top 20 with Hawaii, reigning WAC champs, now in Boise's spot in the Mountain West. They still have old foes like New Mexico State to worry about in the conference, as well as new Mountain West opponents that they're going to have to worry about. Reuniting with teams like UTEP and Wyoming in the early WAC. Any thoughts on these 10, Danny?
Pretty cool. We're glad we got our first two non-AQ teams. They're both 19-20.
Mm-hmm. There's always a team that starts out around this range out of non-power and like hovers there for a little while and then like rockets up by the end of the year. Dave?
Yeah, I'm looking at these rankings and I can't help but think that, all right, we have the SEC kind of in a disarray over here. And the guy that really puts all this together lives in Michigan. So I'm just kind of wondering, we have Michigan at number 1 and Ohio State at 3, and we don't have an SEC team till, 10? So
Hey, Florida won the Natty last year.
Probably a little bit of regional bias in here. And also,
Florida won the Natty in 23.
Central Florida at 16 is extremely overrated. So
they were competitive last season in the conference. They only lost out on tiebreakers after they lost earlier in the year to Cincinnati. That's why they didn't play in the conference title. UCF's always dangerous. You got to watch out for them. 5 more teams to go. Another Mountain West squad starts us at 21. San Jose State, a win away from playing for a natty potentially, but they ended up losing that game. They lost the Cotton Bowl to Kansas State. Is San Jose State poised to run it back? 22, Georgia. The SEC always has some teams in the bottom half that end up sneaking ahead. Remember Florida a few years ago, who creeped up the rankings and won the Natty. Oklahoma at 23. Of course, they're looking to be where their arch rivals in Bedlam are at number 7 or higher. It's going to be a very tough Big 12 to win. Number 24, Virginia Tech. The computer loves this team. They finished all right last season. However, like years ago, they were like one of the most dangerous teams in the nation, especially in the ACC. They won 3 conference championships in a row at one point. The Hokies have cooled off since, but their solid defensive play is what's gonna make the computer fall in love all over again. And we wrap the top 25 with Tennessee. How good are the Vols going to be now that they have a division with Georgia, with Florida, with Alabama, and with a team who played in the national championship, or not national championship, the SEC championship last season in Auburn? Time will tell. Thoughts on the last 5, Danny?
Pretty fun. Fun to notice in the top 25, there are only 3 Big Ten teams and 5 SEC teams. So just saying,
There are only 3 teams in the... Really? Dave, your thoughts?
Has San Jose State ever been in the top 25?
They were in 2020.
Yeah, they hovered around for a little bit.
My grandpa took some classes there. I've seen a couple concerts there. Go Spartans.
All right. We do have our next teams up. I'll just list really quickly. All other teams who received mentions here are Washington, Florida State, Michigan State, Rice, Auburn, Indiana, James Madison, Iowa, Temple, Appalachian State, North Carolina, Wisconsin, BYU, Arkansas, Southern Miss, Hardin-Simmons, Memphis, Columbia, UAB, Nebraska, and Louisiana Tech. All received nods. We do have
Terry Bradshaw, the quarterback at La Tech, right?
Was he? I forgot where he went. That doesn't sound wrong, so that might be right. We have a couple games to pick ahead of week 0. We're going to get things started with our game in Dublin. The first ranked action we're going to get all year. Number 12 Notre Dame taking on Boston College overseas in Aviva Stadium. The 12th ranked Irish are the favorites here. I like Notre Dame here. Danny?
Give me the Irish as well.
Dave?
I like Marcus Freeman. Got that thing rolling there. But
He proved me wrong.
Bill O'Brien, I mean, that I wouldn't hire him to run an NFL franchise, but I think he has a nice home in Boston College. We stole his quarterback, so I don't know what's going to happen there. Irish, obviously, is going to win in Ireland.
It's predestined, probably. The FCS kickoff out of Montgomery, Jacksonville and Dayton playing each other. The odds-on favorites are on the Flyers. I like the Flyers to win here. Danny?
Give me the Dolphins. Give me Jacksonville.
Dave?
Who?
It's the FCS kickoff, Jacksonville and Dayton.
Oh, I have notes on that. Hold on.
Huh. Oh, I got him right here. Here you go.
John Gruden, Dayton Flyers.
All right.
That's where he went, right?
I believe. I think he had a coaching assistant there, too. HBCU kickoff, the MEAC SWAC showdowns. Winston-Salem State out of the MEAC taking on Jackson State from the SWAC. The Tigers won the SWAC last season. They're the favorites to repeat this year. I like Jackson State to beat the Rams. Danny?
Give me Jackson State.
All right.
Home of Coach Pride.
Dave? I keep wanting to say Pig Bear, but Pig Bear's not here today.
Let's see. Jack, I would still have respect for Dion if he stayed at Jackson State. So
Yeah.
I don't like him anymore. But I'll still go for... What was the other team?
Winston-Salem State. Stephen A's alum.
Oh, Stephen A. Smith, who maybe he went there. I don't know.
I thought he did, yeah. It was either there or Morehouse. I don't remember.
No, he says he went there.
Mm-hmm.
Who do I not like less?
Mm-hmm.
Give me Jackson State.
All
Did
right.
I wear a JSU shirt on my streams for a long time?
I thought you did, yeah. Looking over some interesting games. Nebraska kicks off against South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits always dangerous on the road. Give me the Huskers to win their home debut. Danny?
Huskers. Easily.
Dave?
Upset.
Ooh.
No, I can't do it.
We might have an...
Nebraska has the best fans in college football, in my opinion, just because they've sucked forever and they still show up. I mean, there's nothing else to do in Nebraska.
Yeah. They've suffered through a lot. That 2023 team was brutal. I'll say that much.
I remember when I was a kid, Nebraska was the team, in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
we would get all their games on radio in Northern California. They were so popular.
They kind of pulled in Arkansas in the sense that, like, them moving to the Big Ten just kind of sucked their soul out in a way. But Arkansas has found their way back.
Even when they went to the Big 12, they fell off. They need to be in the Big 8. Just beat up Iowa State every year. Kansas.
Speaking of, this might be a fun one. Kansas heading to the islands against Hawaii. KU has put some surprisingly decent seasons together recently.
I wish I could go with them.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the Rainbow Warriors, reigning WAC champions, won the Sugar Bowl last season, probably their best season in program history last year. Can they perform on the same level now they're in the Mountain West? This is going to be a fun one. I have Kansas winning on the road. I think that's the start of a solid season for the Jayhawks. Danny?
Yeah, give me Hawaii to win in an upset.
Dave?
See, Hawaii plays in a high school stadium now.
It's their I believe it's their track field that they just renovated.
Yeah.
The
Lance Leopold.
I-
Lance Leopold.
I don't know what's happening with the new Aloha Stadium. They're saying it's going to be 2028, but I don't know.
Kansas has a new stadium this year. I saw the pictures of it.
They just finished renovations. It looks nice.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
All right. And we're going to wrap up with the first...
The Rainbow Warriors need to put the rainbow back on the helmet.
We're going to wrap things up with our 2KU game of the week. And how fitting we've got you on for it. We're heading to Orlando, Arizona State out of the Pac-12. And Dave's show of the ACC. It's the Battle of the It's a Battle of Sparky. I was about to say Battle of the Spears. Dave's show in their first season of ACC play didn't necessarily wow anybody, but they did manage to nab a bowl win over TCU. Arizona State did not have a great season last year. However, they're expecting to turn a new page this season. A-State Dave Show. I'm gonna pick the Dave Show Truckers to get things started at home with a win. Remember last season they upset UCF. I just want to put that out. Week 2.
Upset.
UCF was top 10 at the time.
Get out of here.
Dave Show stole that win last season, and I think they might be trying to steal a few more. Give me Dave Show to win and have a solid season.
What does UCF stand for again?
Central Florida. Bring that bit back. Danny, who do you have?
What's that coming down the road? Is the mean machine in golden red. Ain't nothing fighter in the land than a drunk obnoxious trucker. Truckers, 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 truckers. Go truckers.
Oh, we both played at the same time. You're picking Dave's show. Do I even need to ask Dave? Who do you have?
Who's coaching the truckers?
A different Coach Prime. Alan Prime.
Dave
Alan
Prime.
Prime.
Yeah.
I'll go with Hey Ho Dave Show.
We're all Dave Show. Saturday, August 23rd is the day we return for our first scores will be on the 2K scores and schedules through the Type A Joy 101 Discord server. And that night, we'll have our first game of the 2KU season as Dave Show and Arizona State square off in Orlando. That's going to be all for today's show. Thank you both for attending. Glad to see Dave for the first time in a long time. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you there. And so long from the 2KU.